We're gonna get going and we're gonna make some stacked chile verde enchiladas, and they're incredible for a festive lunch or for anytime you wanna just treat yourself or others to a beautiful, delicious, super satisfying breakfast. So I'm gonna get started by slicing like 3/4 of this large white onion. I have my heat set at medium. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of oil and 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. I wanna make sure the butter melts before I add the onion. I'm slicing like 3/4 of 1 large onion. And I'm reserving 1/4 of the onion to chop it, to use it as a layering ingredient for when I build the enchiladas. So adding the onion in there. The onion that's starting to soften. And I'm gonna add 3 garlic cloves that I'm going to thinly slice. Chile verde in Mexican culinary lingo is this chile. The thing is, if in a Mexican recipe you say chile verde, it can be any of these chiles. Like all of these chiles are verdes. But if you get a chile verde in a recipe and it doesn't say jalapeño or serrano or poblano, then you know you're referring to this chile verde chilaca. It's kind of citrusy, more pungent and bright than say the poblano. If you can find a chilaca in a pinch, you can use a poblano. This is the chilaca that has been roasted. I put it under the broiler and then put it in a bag or bowl and cover it and let it really sweat. And then the skin just peels off super easily. And then you just make a slit and you remove all the seeds. And then you have your clean chile verde. You can leave them whole or cut them in strips like I have here. So this is completely softened, gently starting to brown. I'm gonna add the flour. Now these are the details that may make your sauce taste different from mine. So if you left your onion and garlic to brown more than I did, you're gonna have a deeper tasting sauce. I'm adding the flour right now. I'm gonna stir the flour. Now, you can cook the flour to whichever point you want. I like to cook it until it starts smelling toasty and the flour gains a little color. Now I'm gonna add my chiles, and here I have 2 pounds of chilaca chiles. And then I'm gonna add marjoram. Now, you can use dried or fresh. Since I found fresh, I'm gonna use like 2 tablespoons that I'm just gonna finely chop here. So chopping doesn't need to be fine because I'm gonna puree this sauce anyway. I'm adding the marjoram in here. I'm gonna add a teaspoon salt. I'm gonna stir these, and by now my roux has really thickened and browned, which is gonna give my sauce another layer of flavor. So I'm just gonna pour 2 cups of chicken broth, and look at this beautiful picture. Brought to my home all the way from Chihuahua in my suitcase. And now I'm just gonna mix. Now I'm gonna scrape as this cooks, and all that browning in the bottom is really delicious. Now, while this cooks, I can start preparing my tortillas. I'm gonna pour enough oil in this skillet to make it about 1/4 inch or a little less. Now, the principles of enchiladas, like no matter what kind of enchilada you make, are you need really good corn tortillas. Don't use, please, flour tortillas for enchiladas. They get soggy. You need to prepare your corn tortillas. That means you can either heat them or toast them, which will make the corn tortillas resilient and more sturdy and withhold the sauce better, or you can pass them through oil. You wanna make sure that the oil is very hot, because if it's not too hot, it's just gonna make the tortillas absorb too much oil and not transform. So you do this for about 10-15 seconds per side. This tortilla is perfect. Tortillas are ready. The sauce is ready to be pureed. This is a super chunky chile verde sauce. We're gonna turn it into the silkiest, creamiest chile verde sauce. And I'm also gonna start heating this pan because I'm gonna make my sunny side up eggs. I'm gonna puree these until completely smooth. This is what you wanna do when you have something very hot to puree. Grab a towel, fold it, put it on the top of your lid and press. Smell! I mean, this can be a soup too. I'm gonna pour it right here in the same saucepan. And then we're just gonna keep these over very low heat just to keep it hot. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to my pan. And then I'm gonna crack 2 eggs. And I'm gonna add salt and pepper. And I like to cover my eggs because that way the egg white completely cooks. As my eggs cook, it's gonna be a minute. I'm gonna cut some onion to layer in between the tortillas. Another second, which gives me an opportunity to chop some chives so that I can garnish my eggs. Perfect. Eggs are ready. Let's build. Tortilla that we prepared, dunking it in the sauce. Then adding a little bit of onion, a lot of onion. I have some Mennonite Chihuahua cheese. The second layer, onion, cheese, and one more. You can stack these up to heaven, but I find that 3 tortillas are very satisfying. And this is the last part. Cheese, onion. How perfect is that? Of course, I'm gonna add more onion, more cheese because I can't help myself. Okay, fine, I'm gonna add a little bit more sauce and chives just to make it pretty and something fresh. And now, excuse me. Ah, so beautiful. I love eggs, I love enchiladas, I love Chihuahua. It's so satisfying. Not spicy at all, super flavorful, creamy, rich. You gotta try stacked chile verde enchilada.